do you have what do you feel will be the next big thing in our communities?
I've kind of answered that already with the previous answers. I hope there will not be any next new thing, and that will take the things that have been there a little bit more serious.
Oh no, but is there anything that you're aware of? Any new practice or like team collaboration approach, or anything that you've kind of witnessed or heard of that you think, oh, okay, this might be useful and perhaps will be popular?
I'm trying very hard to think of something. No, I guess the next, and let's hope that will be the next new thing, is working with co-located teams.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty groundbreaking.
We'll have to rediscover the benefits of working with co-located teams, because as you know, I've been working in a team remotely now for a year, and the longer I work in a team, the more I realize that there's just all of these things of being co-located that I'm missing out still. And even, and this is kind of some point that I nowadays try to make quite a lot, because there's a lot of people that like the popular news say, yeah, from this now the hybrid working is here to stay, and but then they describe that as if that has no impact on how you work as a team. And even if you work in a hybrid way, that by itself already has a huge impact. It means that you'll need to limit the use of physical whiteboards, that you'll have to abandon physical task boards, that um, so I it when the world is pretending that everything works fine, um, with remote work or with hybrid work. And I guess the next big thing will be us discovering that it is not the same as working co-located.
I'm wondering if there has been some research done on this. I know there was a book by Price and Toy on Teams. It's got some really interesting statistics about uh, the proximity of customers to teams, and then the subsequent impact on those teams' ability to perform. And there is I can't remember the exact statistic. I'll put it in the show notes. I'll dig it out. So I've got the book. They basically say that if you're in a team that has a close proximity to a customer, that you're something like a good proportionally about 30% more likely to become reach levels of high performance more quickly, or high value creation effectiveness more quickly than you would if you're not close to the customer. And I'm sure that there must be something in that book also about co-location. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And I'll let everybody know.
Well, I think the only reasonable study that I've seen so far is the Microsoft COVID remote working study. I think you might have seen that one also. It's very big, but it has some interesting effects. Like, it describes how especially the cross team communication goes down quite dramatically. One of the most interesting parts of that was that even the synchronous virtual meetings had, I believe, if I remember it correctly, had decreased, and the amount of asynchronous messaging had increased dramatically with remote working. And there's some other uh, just from their measurements of all of their teams, the changes in communication and behavior. And that was an interesting study.
I'll get it into the show notes so that people can also find that.
Yeah.
It is very interesting times that we've been through. I just hope that we can get some meaningful data out of this, and just because we've got the data doesn't mean that people will pay attention to it. Sadly.
I don't think there's been a lot of relationship with getting the data and people's behavior based on that.
Let's not get drawn to a politics conversation. So we can save that for after we finish recording. Bas, it's been a absolute pleasure having you here on the podcast, on the show today, and getting to ask you some of these questions.